Good evening, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oguchi Martins Ekpuja. This is about emulating good practice. What we're talking about today is about the enabling forces to implement good practice. What are the things that can enhance the implementation of good practice? It is good to implement good practice if the forces are there, the enabling forces are there, the forces that will help the practice. There are quite a few enabling forces. The most important of them all is leadership. What is leadership? This is the act of enabling people to follow you, willingly follow you. People follow you because they want to follow you, because you are inspiring. You have to inspire the people to follow you. They have to have the confidence in you to follow you. You have to be a servant leader for people to follow you. You lead by example. If you do that, people will follow you. You lead at the front. You don't sit behind and then send people to go and do something. You stay in front. You respect people. People will respect you and they will follow you. You empathize with people. People will see that you understand their needs. They will follow you. You show concern to people. And at the same time, this is collective responsibility. You show accountability. You communicate with people effectively. They understand where they are. They will be willing to follow you. If they trust you, they will follow you. If they see that you work for them, they will follow you. We call it altruism, altruistic leadership for the interest of all. They will see that you are selfless. You care for the people. People will follow you. Those of you who did leadership in management will understand that leadership does not mean how big or how tall or how eloquent you can speak. Leadership is about inspiring people to follow you, doing the right thing, recognizing the people, work for the interests of the people. They will follow you. So when it comes to leadership, there are different levels of leadership: community leadership, association, associational leadership, peers leadership, family leadership, organizational leadership, political leadership, religious leadership, cultural leadership. So all these have duty to ensure that their people do the right thing. If you, as a leader, empathize with your followers, you understand their concern, you understand their basic needs. In management, that's what we call hierarchy of needs. Maslow hierarchy of needs. Somebody have to have a safety need. Somebody have to have a house over his head. Somebody has to have food to eat, pay his bills, transportation, and all that. The basic things. If people have them, there will be no need for them to misbehave. They will try to do the right thing. So those that are in charge of leadership, leading their people, it doesn't matter if you're a manager, doesn't matter if you're a supervisor, doesn't matter if you're whatever you do, as long as you are leading your people. Leading by example. You want people to do the right thing, but they are looking up to you. As a leader, community leader, cultural leader, religious leader, political leader, organizational leader, are you doing what you're supposed to do? Because we said emulating good practice is doing the right thing, doing the right thing, doing what is right. Whatever that is being done has rules and regulations. There are duties and responsibilities. All of them call for accountability. As a leader, how do you make it easier for your people to do the right thing? Have you looked into their welfare? Yesterday I talked about welfare, about well-being. You understand what that means? Now I talked about Maslow hierarchy of needs. People have to have the basic needs before they progress. There are steps, but a man or woman who has no roof over his head will do one thing or the other to ensure that he has a roof over his head. What of food? Everyone eats food, 3 square meals a day, but even if it is 1 square meal, most of us here, we eat 1 square meal or two, breakfast and other lunch or dinner, whichever. But that is choice. But somebody did not eat because he has not got the resources to eat. That is a different thing. That's a different thing. How can we make it easier for that person to have the basic needs? In Nigeria, we call them the masses, the citizens. Things are hard. Yes, we want them to do the right thing. Because they don't have, or what they have is not enough. That's why they look for extra. In order to get this extra, they have to behave one way or the other in order to have this extra to meet their need. So today, I am asking my friends and their friends, what can we do to help others to ensure that they do the right thing? They do what they're supposed to do. I'm talking to every profession, from the president to the cleaner. There are different levels. Do you know the needs of your people? Are you meeting the needs of your people? Social welfare, their well-being. Well-being includes roof over your head, food to eat, transport to work, medical bills, food and drink, school fees, clothing for children, paying all the bills, electricity, water. Ordinary man, has he got all this? This is one thing about the United Kingdom. They make sure that everyone has the basic need. A hungry man is an angry man. Somebody is hungry, he couldn't get it anywhere, then he may be persuaded to join criminal gang in order to raise money one way or the other. But deep down, that's not what he went there to do. But he has looked up and down. He has no job. He has no house. He has no food. No one takes care of him. Medical bills. How will this man or woman survive? Here in the United Kingdom, they make sure that you have that basic need. When one has the basic need, you have no excuse whatsoever not to do the right thing. In Nigeria, we don't have social support. Nothing stops us from having social support. Every governor can introduce that. The federal government can look into that. People are suffering. How can you help them to make the end meet? This is why people are not happy. They're angry. This is why people do commit one crime or the other. This is why people go against the rule, against the law. So, my people, we are talking about emulating good practice and enabling, creating and enabling forces to implement good practice. And the first thing is allowing or enabling the people to meet their basic needs. I've mentioned that. And this is what well-being is all about. If a man has not met his basic needs, he will be stressed out. That will affect his health. Even if he hasn't committed any crime, any offense, but that has put pressure to his health. He developed blood pressure. and other illnesses through intense stress. Stress is a killer. Those in government, managers in the office, how do you help? I was talking about wages and salary. Why don't you look into the salary and wages you pay your workers? Look at the things, the cost of living, what you have given to them so far. Is it enough for them to meet their basic needs? The government, civil service, or civil servants, the basic salary that you pay them, is it enough for them to live on for 1 month? I don't want to start mentioning how much you pay them, but you know how much you pay them, right? There are a lot of graduates around unemployed. They are doing all they can to avoid falling into the wrong side by going into joining the gang, criminal gang. A lot of them try to keep themselves away from it. This is where somewhere in Igbo land, graduates, first class, they are painters. They work on building sites to make ends meet. Graduates. Most keke drivers and taxi drivers in Igbo land are graduates. Some of them have masters. How do we help? How do we help? This is where the government comes in. Those that are not working, is there any way to help them? Those that are working, can we pay them something, salary or wages that commensurates with what they do, that will help to meet their basic needs? As a leader, community leader, organizational leader, or manager, you have things paid for you. You have enough money to live on. Manager at work, company, you have company car, company house, company medical bill. They pay your bills. Sometimes some of them, your children, your organization pay for their studies. What of your clerks, your messengers, your drivers, your cleaners, the frontline staff? How much do they earn? How much do they earn? Is that enough for them to? Is that enough for them to have their basic needs without putting themselves under pressure, without going out to borrow, begging people for money? Today, I'm not going to talk too much about this. Look around you. If you're a leader, look around you. Basic needs. What your followers have at the moment. Is it enough? Why don't you look at helping increasing their pay or one way or the other so that what they have is enough for them to live on daily? If that happens, they have no right or they may not have willingly commit any crime. Let us look at all those negative forces that pushed people into doing the wrong thing. I know about greed. I know that greed is part of us. But the government, the state, and the local government should now re-educate people. There is honor in service, but whatever happens, a man or woman must meet their basic needs. Before you pay somebody, you ask this question: what I am paying him or her, is it enough to meet his basic needs? Because if it is not, he will look for a way to earn extra. This is where they're now going against the rule and the regulation. Today, emulating good practice, I am focusing on the leadership. Look at what you have been doing. Review your action. I'm talking to everyone: community leaders, local authorities, government, cultural leaders, organizational leaders, political leaders, religious leaders. Review your action. We are all human beings. Empathize with your people. Meet their basic needs. And if you do that, then you can ask questions. Why did you do something wrong? But as at now, a lot of people in Nigeria have not got enough to meet their basic needs. In those days, there used to be agriculture. Every family has farm where they plant yam, cocoyam, cassava, pepper, onion. But now, those lands are no longer. The population is increasing. People are building accommodations, and so they now buy 99% of the food that families eat. They buy it from the market. So what you are paying them, is that enough? Where do they have extra to support their living? I am talking to everyone. As long as you're a leader, review your action. What I'm talking about today is the enabling forces that will help people to implement good practice. What is it that is hindering people from doing the right thing? That is what I am talking about today. So join me in trying to find out all the positive, the enabling forces that will help people to do the right thing. When we have done, we will try to eliminate all those negative forces that push people to do the wrong thing. This is collective responsibility. This is collective accountability. This calls for teamwork. All hands must be on deck. This is a win-win situation. If it is good for your people, it's good for you. You have rest of mind. That will increase your security. What do you think? Search your soul. Review your action and inaction. Are we doing the right thing? You, the leader. Are you doing the right thing? Are you leading by example? If you cannot manage for one day what you pay people for 1 month, why do you allow that to continue? In Nigeria, why those in politics, political office holders, the senators, the House of Rep, the ministers earn so much and the people earn very little? So little that is not enough to meet their basic needs. The senators, the House of Rep, the ministers, why are you not addressing this issue? The governors, state assembly, political leaders, why are you not addressing this issue? It's for the good of all of us. We're talking about doing the right thing, leading by example. We're looking for inspirational leaders, people who understands the need of their people. You must understand the need of your people. Why are you a leader? If you do not understand the need of your people, if you do not empathize with your followers. We are talking about doing the right thing. Before we go about blaming ordinary people that they are doing the wrong thing, you, the leader, are you doing the right thing? Religious leaders, are you helping your people to meet their basic needs? Political leaders, are you helping your people to meet their basic needs? We are in this together, all of us. If it is good, it's good for us, for all of us. If it is bad, it's bad for all of us. My name is Oguchi Martins Egbujo. I am talking about promoting good practice in Nigeria and indeed Africa. Look yourself in the mirror. You know yourself. Touch your conscience. Do things conscientiously. Are you doing the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? Are you leading by example? What you're doing, is it touching the lives of your people? Is it improving the lives of your people? What are you doing to help? I ask you, what are you doing to help to promote good practice in Nigeria at all levels? That's my question. Answer the question and everything will be all right. Thank you.